So today we're going to be discussing how to find the volume and surface area of a cylinder, given a description instead of an actual picture. So the directions say find the volume of each figure, round your answers to the nearest tenth if necessary. It says a cylinder with a diameter of 2 meters and a height of 4. Okay, so first off, is a cylinder. So we know that it's basically a tube, right? It says that it has a height of 4 meters, so it's 4 meters tall. And it has a diameter of 2. Diameter means all the way across. It's 2. Okay? It asks us to find the volume. And the formula for that is V equals pi r squared times h. So if you look at this formula, the things you need to find the actual volume is the radius and the height. Well, I have the height. The height is 4 meters. And I have the diameter. That's 2. I know that the diameter is twice as long as the radius, so if I just cut this in half, I'll have the radius. So instead of 2, this would have a distance of 1, right? So radius equals 1, because diameter was 2. So I'm going to use this. Once I have these numbers, all I have to do is plug them into that formula, and we should be good to go. So V equals pi times 1 squared times 4. So V equals pi times 1 times 4. And 4 times pi is going to be 12.56. And it asks us to round to the nearest tenth, so this is going to be 12.6. This is meters cubed. Meters cubed. Cubed because we're working with volume. It's a 3-dimensional figure, and it's talking about the amount of space inside of that figure. So it's always cubed for volume. Okay? So when you're given a phrase like this, when in doubt, just draw a picture. If it makes it easier for you, make sure you label everything. Put things where they're supposed to go, write out the formula, figure out what you need, which is, in this case, R and H, and then find out where those things are on the figure. Next, we're going to look at finding the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so again, we're still working with a cylinder. It says find the surface area of each figure, round your answers to the nearest tenth if necessary. It says a cylinder with a radius of 10 yards and a height of 5 yards. Okay, again, it's a cylinder. It's just a tube. It says that the radius is 10 yards and that the height is 5 yards. It wants us to find the surface area. So the formula for surface area, SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Okay, so again, we need to figure out what this formula needs. And just like volume, the only two things that it needs are R and H. So R, we already know, is 10. So it tells us up here radius is 10. It also says that the height is 5. Okay, so we have these two things. We're just going to write those down. This is what we need. So we're going to plug it into that formula. Okay, so all I did was take 10, and every time I saw an R, I put a 10 there. Every time I saw an H, I put a 5 there. And that's what I got. So now we're just going to try and simplify this a little bit. 10 squared is 100. And then 10 times 5 is going to be 50. Okay? So when you're putting problems like these into the calculator, what I would do is do this part first, write it down, then write this or type this part in, and then write it down, then worry about adding them together. That way there's less chance of error. So that's what we're going to do. 2 times pi times 100. That's going to be 628.32. And then 2 times pi times 50, that's going to be 314.16. So if I add those two numbers together, I get 942.48. And that is the surface area of this cylinder. Remember, surface area is always in the unit squared, because we're just talking about the area it takes to cover this, not the actual space inside.